So if, let's say, Mr. Ravindran spoke in a language in which a lawyer might speak before a judge of Supreme Court, will you understand? No. So to make you understand, he must use what language? Simple language, to say it simply. Right? So the language is very simple. And what does simple mean? Simple is a very subjective thing. What is simple for me may be very difficult for you. And what is simple for you, sir, in your field of study may be very difficult for me also. So what is simple? That anybody can understand even without any background. If you don't even have a background of constitution and law, still that definition should make some sense to you. Otherwise, if I start explaining rocket science in the language of a rocket scientist, oh, to alpha beta lagega aapko, you will not understand anything. Then it's not simple. So we need to develop that kind of linguistic control also for us. And the third most important thing, I am expecting you to tell me this, did you observe the difference between all the answers? What was the difference? Nobody was wrong. What was the difference in the words they spoke? No, the language and what was different? Perspective. Nobody was wrong. You're only talking about some part of a bigger picture. That's why nobody was 10 out of 10 also. Correct? Somebody said it is the supreme law of the land. Somebody said it is the law of the land that regulates government. Somebody said it regulates citizens. It does everything. And it is all of these things. But nobody is able to give me the full picture. And that's a very critical aspect, that the definition has to be comprehensive. It should cover all the dimensions of that issue. Comprehensive. So it should be concise, it should be simple, and it shall comprehensively explain that. Okay? Now, how do we build this? Question is always the how. How do we build this issue? As I said, start focusing on words. And it's not easy. You can't change yourself what you have become in 20 years of your life in 20 days. Not even 20 days. It takes time. But you have to put effort. In fact, I'll do this as an exercise. If you want my advice, I'll give you also this advice. 2 months, remember that initial period? 8 weeks. 8 weeks. 4 GS papers. That means per week we get, for each subject we get 2 weeks for each GS paper. As you are learning, every week, pick one term that you have learned. For example, the word that I picked, because you already know a little bit, constitution. As in economics, you will read inflation. In paper 4 ethics, you'll read perhaps integrity. These are terms coming to you. One a week, that's all. Catch somebody who does not know about that topic, who is not preparing for civil service exam, because they are a commoner, they need to understand it. If they understand, you are growing. And make them understand that concept that you have learned with being concise, simple, and comprehensive. For example, anybody, sir, maybe your family members, your siblings will not tolerate you. They'll say, phir aa gayi, phir bore karegi. You are studying for civil service, why are you torturing me? Grandparents are the best for this because they want to talk. You might have a maid at your home, rickshaw puller, vegetable vendor, pakdo kisi ko. I'm not joking, sir, I'm very serious in that. They will make you learn the way nobody can make you learn. Catch the vegetable vendor and ask the vegetable vendor, Bhaiya, do you know inflation? Of course, you will not understand your language here. You'll have to translate. Bhaiya, mudrasfiti pata hai? Of course, he'll make a face, huh? You've got a candidate. To test your learning, now you have got one sentence to speak and make that person understand inflation. If you can do that, and you will see it from his facial expressions, his counter